Boom. Here we go. My dudes, we are getting our dicks kicked in the dirt, and it's time to bridge the gap. What the fuck does that mean? Well, let me explain. Modern men have a low sense of self-worth because we've allowed other groups and other ideologies to dictate the conversation on what it means to be a good man. We started defining ourselves by their values, not our own merit, and we got tricked into playing an unwinnable game. The manhood game has to be extremely simplified, back to the basics, striving to become more self-sufficient by learning new life skills from our peers. And by skills, I don't mean Boy Scout survival skills, but emotional, interpersonal, and mindset skills to add to the Batman tool belt. We used to have all kinds of men's groups: Elks, Shriners, Moose Lodge, Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts. But then everyone got molested, everyone got cirrhosis, and everyone cheated on their wives. Boom, rotted from the inside out, and now most of them are gone. We need new support structures with more wholesome values and some really hard boundaries around drinking and substances and molesting. Men need a new game because the current one is not working. The new game should be simple. Become more self-reliant, then become an active member of a men's group, and then become an active member of your local community. 3 fucking things. That's it. The rest of the discourse is just fucking clickbait. Now, the only exception to this list of life priorities comes from my high school football coach. He said, men, let me see if I can do his voice. He said, men, there's only a few things that matter in life. It goes God, football, family, football, my wife, then maybe some aminals. He said aminals. Now hit someone in the tits. We're burning daylight. But joking aside, men are in a loneliness and addiction epidemic. My childhood friend and I, Rafa, are starting a men's group online, a Marine and a screenwriter, helping other men get organized. Internally first, then externally. Organized around the right mental models, the right priorities, and the right people. And just like the Boy Scouts and the military, we're going to give away merit badges and challenge coins for successful personal development missions. You need to quit porn, take on the challenge, watch one of our videos, successfully quit porn, then get your off the nog patch and start collecting the rest of them like Pokemon. Join our private community on Circle, do our courses or group challenges, submit some written homework to prove that you did it and you're not cheating, and you get a cool badge or a coin. But remember, it's not a competition with other men. It's a game versus the best and worst versions of yourself. Our unprecedented era of technological change does not need any more great men, more titans, and more trailblazers. A lot of them are fucking insane. The pursuit of greatness or grind culture corrupts or destroys most of us. This era of cultural and financial chaos needs more organized groups of good men, stable, community-oriented leaders who can resettle our collective fear and anxiety. That's right. Our big war does not have an external enemy. Our grandpas got to fight the Nazis, fuck some French prostitutes, and bring home the clapper as a war trophy. This generation of men got dealt an internal foe, a war with ourselves, a war over the very nature of masculinity. And most of us have become our own worst enemies. We either embraced the victimhood game being played online, or we've accepted that we no longer fit in and we're beyond fixing, the black pill. A lot of us have gone AWOL, fully checking out with video games, porn, and fantasy football addictions. And no dick pills, shaving cream, or Carhartt vest is going to cover up the festering wound growing inside of a lot of us. We feel isolated, unwanted, and obsolete. Those symptoms have led to an epidemic of male loneliness, which has folded up our emotional defenses like the French army in World War II and allowed a blitzkrieg of internet-driven psychosis to spread across most of the continents. But it was a good thing that we let our guard down and we were caught unawares. Men needed to evolve. We needed to reach this stage of humbling defeatism so we could regroup around a new set of values. Values that honor the atrocious things that men have done to women and the planet, but also with enough reforged strength to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, we heard you, all of you. We know what we have to do. We know what we have to leave behind, and we're going to figure out what we're going to carry forward as men. A lot of men may have gotten lost in this existential battle over the nature of masculinity, but it's time to send up some signal flares. Cool military term, because I got a military partner now. And we're going to start reeling people back into the fold. Time to start the logistical effort to reorganize around new support structures. Because up until very recently, most of us dedicated our lives to climbing the hierarchies of our respective societies or accepting our place within those structures and excelling at our given station. Men are at their best when they're working on a small team with clearly defined roles, selflessly pursuing a singular goal for the greater good. We are at our worst when we isolate ourselves from our male peers and from others, and allow our unchecked egos to lead us down the paths of ambition, addiction, escapism, everything. Men are choosing isolation over community, and a lonely man can justify any decision. We do not want to ask for help. We've become lost and lonely in the information age because the inherent structure of the internet is more suited for the skill sets of our female counterparts. This is my personal theory, completely unsubstantiated, but I think it's unlocked and organized them and destroyed and isolated us. We haven't found our place yet in this new structure. We're still living in the old one, where information could be controlled and there were clear hierarchies of control. Since the ape days, we built hierarchical is such a weird word. It sounds like 5 words shoved together. Since our ape days, we have built hierarchical structures based on strength or merit, while they have built mutual support networks based on sharing skills and information. While we strive for excellence, they strived for equality and sharing information. We needed the interplay of both to get us here, but now the top-down structures are no longer serving our species. Now that the internet has reshaped our world into one big support network and given everyone an equal voice online, I think men don't know how to navigate this more complex, fluid, always shifting web of new social values, rules, and interdependent relationships. But our wives do. It's the game they've been playing for eons. The information age has activated their biological gifts and made us question ours. Men at this very moment in time are between epics and archetypes. We're stepping out of one story and into a new one. So we're, again, navigating that wasteland. Then you toss in decades of pent-up and unfortunately very justified feminist rage that has been unleashed online, a hefty dose of straight male awareness hell, and a steady diet of shame, guilt, resentment, and no wonder why we're losing a lot of male peers to deaths of despair. That is a potent stew of modern shit. Or we're losing men in other ways, when they double down on fundamentalism or extremism to provide a sense of belonging and an outlet for their anger. But one pocket of mankind, one generation, had to pay this historically shitty man tab, and this bill has been racking up for fucking centuries. I study history. This bill it's the biggest bill of all time. Welcome to the major crisis of modern masculinity. We need to pass a more polished baton of masculinity down to the next generation, but that's going to take a lot of work. It has fallen on our shoulders. A few good boomers, some Gen Xers, but mostly millennial and Gen Z men who have not reached peak manhood yet. We all have to regroup, revisit, and redefine what it means to be a man so we can pass down a more codified system to future generations. Now, in order to rejoin the conversation around building the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible, Charles Eisenstein, great book, We have to do what the women just did over the last decade. Get organized, join groups, ask for help, learn new skills. And we have to discuss everything in excruciating detail. Internet, porn, AI, capitalism, socialism, UBI, climate change, marriage, monogamy, polyamory, robot wives, like drugs, addiction, everything. We have to get into groups and discuss everything because men are not creating the space and structure in their lives to discuss the modern world. And that's what we have to do. We have to retreat from the discourse of the gender wars and the culture wars to rebuild a new cathedral of masculinity behind closed doors. That is the quiet and steady path to our evolution. Because at some point in the next 2 decades, we could be facing anything from economic collapse to a man versus machine war with our techno-feudal overlords or an alien invasion. We don't know what's coming, but if you read The Fourth Turn, great book on American generations, and we know that there's a major ordeal or crisis coming within a decade, and merit-based men will be needed. That all starts with 2 simple goals for each and every one of us. Learn how to become a more self-reliant man, then take steps to become a more engaged member of your men's group and your local community. I never joined a men's group until last year, and now I'm in 3, and it saved my life as I went through a big ordeal. I had advisors to talk to. I had a third space to workshop life strategies before I would test them out on the world. Third space is just a cool term. It means first space is your internal life, what's happening in your brain. The second space is the external life, the world that you're interacting with. And men need a third space, a place that is liminal between those two, where it's not just our brains and it's not our jobs. So, again, it's really time for us to let go of the culture wars, and we can let all the isms and the ist duke it out online. We have to remove ourselves from their games because we're giving that shit way too much energy, and we have to create our own game. It's time to fully admit and accept you fucking got us. Third and fourth wave feminism washed over us while we were busy looking for fantasy football waiver wire pickups. We got our dicks kicked in the dirt over the last 10 years. Our wives and girlfriends embraced the information age and built more organized, more connected, and more resourceful group structures. They evolved with the world. We did not. Now there's a major superiority versus inferiority complex driving most of the conflict online and in marriages. We are well aware that there is a gap forming between ourselves and our partners, and it's time to bridge that fucking gap. We're going to take personal development work, communication, mindset tools. We're going to simplify, gamify, codify, and we're going to have fun doing it. It's time to restore the balance and get this back to a healthy stalemate where both sides are doing the work. Men may have fallen behind a little bit, but I believe in us, and I believe in our competitive spirit, and I believe we can catch up quickly. We just need to turn this shit into a friendly competition. So, who's coming with us? Circle link here. Come join up for a meeting. Give it a test run. We have a whole section called the Armory, which is short, 5-minute tools that you will be able to apply to your life. All right. See ya. Boom.